to start?
Sure. Hey, what's up, everyone? Zach,
As you should know.
as you should know, I usually don't sit in on these things, but Gerald and I just got back from a ghost hunt. Be sure to check out that video later when it comes out. But we
We were actually going through all of your discoveries on the comments of the last video of the penitentiary.
penitentiary, the prison.
The prison. the abandoned prison. And we discovered something that nobody else has talked about, and we are completely baffled
Yeah,
by it.
we can't explain it.
It first intrigued us because we were listening and we were watching the footage, and at one point Michael is having the GoPro in one hand and in the other hand the audio recorder, and we're using for EVPs. And he turns on the second floor. On the timestamp is about 18 minutes and 30 seconds. That area for about another 20-30 seconds.
It's right after it's right as we're leaving the second EVP room.
Right. And right when we're doing that, he's turning left with his recorder. Now you're gonna see all of this in this video as well, just so you know. He's turning left with his recorder, and as he's turning left, there is a shadow in the dark that is just there, and it just looks like regular darkness. Well, as he turns, there is a weird concussion noise that envelops the front of the recorder, and you can even see the recorder's audio go up, skyrocket, right before this weird concussion noise. And it goes home, and it even sounds like he bumps it against something. Now, let's talk a little bit about audio. If this was him bumping it into something, and we were sitting here all day going, okay, hitting it against things, trying to
Like
see.
we had headphones on listening to it live.
Trying to see if we can copy this. The only way we could copy it, because it takes out all of the other noise, all of the other ambience, is cuff your hand and go home with it.
Like
Now,
if we flicked it, it had a really tinny sound to it.
right,
It wasn't
and
the same
it
sound.
Stayed open. It stayed.
Yeah.
You could still hear everything echoing. It didn't completely muffle all other noise. Now, that was interesting alone, but the really crazy thing that we caught as well is the fact that we thought we were looking at the shadow of Michael's arm across the way. But it's not Michael's arm. As the light comes on from Zach, you notice Michael's arm does not light up at all. Even if Michael's arm did light up, let's say this, even if it was Michael's shadow, this shadow ducks away and curls away. And actually, the arm curls, meaning it's not his arm.
It's almost like the shadow's flexing at us.
Right. And what's funny is you could tell that this shadow is a good ways away from the initial source. Let's say if Zach got a picture of his finger going like this, it's going to look look like this light here. It's going to look incredibly shadowed if I have it so far away. And it's being projected so far away. It had to be really close, like a midpoint, to create such a decent shadow there. So is this very intriguing? Yes. In fact, a strange thing is what we've noticed, I crushed all of the colors, took all of it into a grayscale, and you can see this shadow shows up as Michael approaches, shows up, ducks away, comes back, and then ducks away again. So something is there actively moving around, and it doesn't play with all the other shadows. All the other shadows should be moving as well, but it doesn't.
Yeah, every other shadow is static.
Mm-hmm. So, is this incredibly intriguing? Yes. Like, this is full on. We have full on camera showing this. And it's incredibly intriguing.
Now, there's something else that you may not realize. Everything we saw from that first shadow when Michael walked upstairs to basically everything except for that EVP, that first EVP where Michael thought he saw a shadow. Everything we saw was over where we did the second EVP.
Yeah. Yeah, and now I'll tell you right now, we actually scrutinized quite a bit of the footage, and we saw a lot of little areas where we're like, man, I think I see another shadow moving, but we couldn't, like, we weren't actually going to even talk about that because it could just be the pixelization, it could just be trick of the eyes, because it was getting really dark there, and so we had to keep upping the ISO. And
higher ISO means more grain.
Yeah, more grain. So we, of course, were like, that's interesting, but we're not going to declare it anything until we started scrutinizing this one piece of footage. And Michael's not even here. I FaceTimed him and I was like, look at this. And even he was like, okay, you need to talk about this. This is too good. So we're really speechless. We've experienced weird things in the past, but we've never had anything to actually prove. Like, I've had the whole doll stuff, and I can prove that weird shit's happening with the doll. But the thing is, we've never actually been able to see an entity.
Mm-hmm.
See some kind of ghost or shadow manipulation. I mean, I've seen shadows like with the doll. I've seen some kind of little shadows, but it's never like this is like a full manifestation and not like a general shadow that you're like, that could be something else. It's incredibly intriguing.
Never really seen a full-blown visual manifestation like this before.
Yeah, and so much so that it wasn't just one thing. This was, it steps in, it steps out, it steps in, curl. Like, there's so much movement. There's so much going on there. We can't explain it. And if you can review all of the footage, review all of this, help us understand what are we seeing. We're reaching out to you all. Help us understand this. Because are we just completely naive? Do we not understand what, is going on with the shadows or something? Can you help us explain this?
If you pay close attention, Michael's arms is extended out holding the recorder. His shadow from his arm is on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
His right arm, if he were to pick his right arm up and do that, first it'd be going the wrong way. Second, it'd be on camera.
Wait.
Third, it's holding the camera.
He's holding the camera that you're watching is his other hand holding it.
Yeah.
So there's no way he has a third arm, unless we're hiding that. But no, there's no other way that's happening. And I'm completely out of the room. I'm at the other end of the hallway.
I'm standing behind Michael.
The fun fact also, if you notice Michael's arm as well, if you're saying, well, it's probably just something to do with his arm. Let's talk about his arm. As the light comes up, as Zach enhanced the light on his lighting rig, the light comes up, illuminating the background. If you notice, Michael's arm stays the same color, meaning there is no light hitting his arm that's causing a shadow. That shadow is completely different than Michael. 100%.
Now, there are multiple light sources in there, but there's only one artificial light source making everything blow up.
Yeah, the light source that you're seeing, the amber light source, is coming from one place, and that was Zach's camera. It's very unique.
Mm-hmm.
Help us explain this.
Please.
Here's the thing. We want you to explain this away for us. We want you to say, this is why it's this way. And we'll say, okay, cool. Thank you so much. We're kind of flabbergasted and completely, like, just our brains are a little mush trying to figure out what this could actually be. Because I'm a hardcore skeptic. I've experienced a lot of weird stuff, but at the same time, deep down inside, I feel like there is some reason, some explanation other than ghosts, other than a spirit is still here haunting the world.
It's really weird though, because every time we see this shadow, it's acting in similar ways. It's like, oh, I don't want to be seen. And then when we're over there, it actually talked to us. And seeing that shadow right there really makes me question what it actually said.
Well, see, what's funny is the noises that we heard when Zach edited it, by the way. When Zach showed me the EVPs we got, I was like, okay, we were kind of near a highway. What if something was coming in? There were animals that could have been in there. All of these noises could have somehow arose in a way that we're just interpreting things. Maybe a bird came in, dropped something, it bounced off of this. My mind was like, it's interesting, but it doesn't, to me, say, you got a ghost. Until we caught this very unique amount of footage where I can't explain. I've dealt with lights a lot for over 20 years. There's no way I can explain this shadow. I'm completely confused with this. So please, again, if you can figure out a way that this somehow happened, let us know. We may, on Finding a Ghost, have definitively found footage of a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
And we can say, by the way, this is stamping saying ghosts do exist. We have actual manifestation footage of it. Do we have a doll moving? Yes. But could that be 100 other things? Watch the doll videos. I kind of explain little things where I think what it could be coming from. I've never seen an actual manifestation of a human body as a shadow, as a ghost, moving around.
Now, we've gotten EVPs, we've gotten little things here and there, but it's
to actually see something.
Yeah, it's different visually seeing it. Yeah.
To actually see something and be like, that was interacting with me. There's something different there, and you can deal with it all day long as a human being, as a regular person. I have stories of my past where I was actually talking to something and nobody was there. I kind of said in my mind, this has got to be something that I cooked up. And you tell yourself that until you actually have visual evidence that you can show other people, and then it's just something different. When I have a lot of weird experiences with the doll has moved. The doll has experienced these things. Is that really the doll? Is it the accumulation of people, of emotions that are able to make an inanimate object maybe move? Is there something to do with that? It doesn't mean to me that is an actual spirit of a child in that doll. It never came out and said, "Hi, I'm Molly. My name is so-and-so. My name is Molly. How you doing? High five." I've never experienced that. I've experienced weird movements. I've experienced this. There's something going on. I can't explain. I can't fully say it is a spirit of a child until something actually comes out and says that. When you actually catch footage of an actual full-on human figure doing something when it shouldn't be, these shadows that you're like, I've seen that in the corner of my eye, I can write it off. I've seen this, I can write that off. But here, when you're actually watching it and it's moving about, and the camera is dead on it, not moving, the camera is not just quickly panning away, nothing weird and artificial is going on. It is dead on. Boom, we have it for like 25 seconds. Help us explain.